My name is Tinka Zaprianova, and I have decided to bring to the attention of the public Garda cover-up that I have been victim of for the last nearly 7 years. So I'll start by saying all started on the 13th of November 2017. I am a qualified accountant. I was working in accountancy practice in Ashburn called BCC Accountants. Myself and two other colleagues, Alan Connolly and Andrew Thompson, we finished work together at around 6 p.m. and everybody headed home. So as I was living in Swords, I took the road R125 from Ashburn to Swords, which was the usual road that I was taking every day from work. So as I was approaching a junction with R122, which is the road coming from St. Margaret's to Old Town, my vehicle, which had the right-of-way, got struck by another vehicle that violated a stop sign approaching from St. Margaret's. So there was T-bone collision, and my vehicle was impacted at the front right side. As a result of the accident, my car spun and the other vehicle just flew and was stationed in a ditch on the right side of the road on the other side. So airbags deployed in my vehicle, and after the car came to a stop, I, in a complete and utter shock, released myself and went out. So what happened is the other driver, who happened to be a Mr. Martin Sniperovic, he was at a stop sign approaching R125. His vehicle collided with my vehicle. I was in complete shock. There was a member of the public that approached me after a few minutes and asked me if anybody had called the guards and ambulance, which I said no. And this lady, who happened to be a young girl called Bethany, she said she would call the guards and the ambulance, and more people stopped at the scene, and we were waiting for members of the Garda Síochána and the National Ambulance Service to arrive at the scene of the accident. So in the meantime, Bethany, she encouraged me and the other driver, Martin Niperovic, to exchange details, to exchange our names, our insurance policy details, which we did. And then other people came, and I think Bethany left. So it was about an hour. The first Garda car that arrived was from Ashburn. But when I started talking to them, another Garda car from Swords Garda Station arrived, and there was a lady Garda called Neve, that's how she introduced herself, who talked to me, and I explained to her what had happened. She saw where the vehicles were positioned. My vehicle was in the middle of the road, obstructing traffic, and Martin's vehicle was in the ditch. So the lady Garda, she gave me a name and insurance policy number for Martin's, but subsequently I realized that the details she gave me were incorrect, and possibly she was not aware that he had already given me the correct details before that. So then an ambulance came about 20 minutes after the Garda's, or maybe 40 minutes, I'm not 100% sure the exact timing, but the ambulance arrived after the Garda's, and they took me for further examinations to Connolly Hospital. Now, the names of the paramedics were Daniel Dixon and Barry McLaughlin, and also Garda Neve advised me that my vehicle will be towed by Gannon City Recovery, and I need to contact them the following day in relation to my vehicle. She also advised me that the investigation guard for this incident will be Keith Delaney, so I need to contact him as well. And she did not provide me with her surname at the time. So subsequently, it was confirmed by Garda Síochána that her surname was Neve Carey. Yes, so the next day I contacted a solicitor about this accident. It was Mr. Porrick Gibbons from Rochford Gibbons Solicitors, to assist me with legal expertise in the matter with the claim that is to happen. So I trusted that everything would be done in the appropriate way. However, what I was told is that I need to obtain the address of Martin Niperovic and I went to Source Garda station on the 14th of November in the evening, but the same Garda, Garda Nivkavi, she refused to provide me with the address of Mr. Niparovich. She said that under the GDPR rules, I have no right to obtain his details, which subsequently turned out that it's totally incorrect, because under the provisions of Section 106 of the Road Traffic Act 1961, as an injured party in an accident, I had the full right to obtain both the name and the address of the offender and his insurance policy details. However, that was not provided to me. On the 14th of November, I called Source Garda station a few more times, but again, I faced the refusal to be provided with the correct details of the address of Mr. Niparovich. So eventually, on the 17th of November 2017, I called him myself personally, and he gave me his address. So I trusted that that would be sufficient. However, there was no advice from the solicitor to gather or to secure evidence about the accident, or any advice to do with technical examination of my car, or witnesses that were present at the scene of the accident. No advice like that followed. However, I was in a very bad state anyway, because as a result of the huge impact and the deployment of the airbags and the spinning of my car, I had a lot of bruises and multiple injuries that were not even properly diagnosed. The ambulance took me to Conley Hospital. At the night of the accident, they took x-rays. Subsequently, I have discovered that the reports for these x-rays were prepared the following day, but I was released from the hospital on the 13th of November, just before midnight, and I was told that there are no fractures, which later on turned out to be incorrect and false information and false or insufficient examination, and which prevented me to follow the proper course of recovery as well. But that's what happened. So I just want to mention that I was driving with about 60 kilometers per hour when this accident happened, and Mr. Niparovich, he was driving with excessive speed, and I would guess it was over 60 kilometers per hour, maybe even 80 or 90, I don't know. Nobody did any proper examination at the scene to establish the speed of two vehicles. But what I want to say that my life was saved as a matter of milliseconds, and I know and I believe this is the grace of God that saved my life, because as the impact was from my right side and there was nothing to save me, it was a matter of milliseconds to be killed on the spot, and this is the fact. Now, what happened after that is that there was no help from the solicitor in the negotiation with the insurance company for Mr. Niparovich for the pre-accidental value of my vehicle. So I had to, it was aggressive negotiation, an aggressive approach applied by them. After reporting the accident to the Garda, then the following day in the morning, I reported the accident to AXA Insurance, who were insurance providers for Mr. Niparovich, and to my own insurance providers, who was True Chill Insurance Footprint Underwriting. So there were two claims which commenced on the 14th of November 2017 with my representation to both insurance providers. Now, I was told by AXA Insurance that they would reimburse me for my vehicle. However, the negotiation wasn't smooth, but we come to agreement, and eventually they required from me to send to them the vehicle logbook of my car, the Nissan Micra 132G3840, and on foot of that, they said that I'll be issued with the check payment for the pre-accidental value of my car for the material damage, which happened on the 1st of December 2017. Now, my vehicle was kept in Ghana City Recovery in their base in Donabate. I went to their place on the 15th of November 2017. I took pictures of my car. I took with myself my personal belongings that were still in the car. And then I was told that the car was taken from that place on the 17th of November and brought to another place arranged by AXA Insurance for a technical examination. So as far as I'm concerned, I was no longer legal owner of this vehicle post 1st of December, 2017, and according to the provisions of Section 4 and Section 5 of Road Traffic Act 2016, it was responsibility of the insurance company, being AXA Insurance, when they did their technical examination on my vehicle, following the conclusion that that was Category B write-off, which meant that the vehicle cannot be repaired and put back on the road. It was their responsibility to notify the Department of Transport, the National Vehicle and Driver File database, so that this vehicle would be registered as end of life and that I would no longer be registered owner for this vehicle. However,